The Mongols are nomads, used to the empty reaches and difficult climate of the eastern steppes. Hunters and horse breeders, they are also fearsome archers. The Great Khan regularly organizes large hunts in which men hone their discipline and encirclement tactics. This is the strength of a people who are small in number. Every man is fit for combat. This video covers the Mongol faction from the Age of Crusades and aims to give the beginner or experienced person everything they need to know to start this faction. This is JP from the Herkus Saga channel. Be sure to subscribe for some semi-regular saga content. Let's get started. This faction covers the Mongol Empire, which at its greatest extent was fighting both the Ordenstadt and the Japanese samurai at the same time. So in any future hypothetical Age of Samurai expansion, you should be able to play these guys as well. Let's start off with the equipment options for the Mongols. The warlord and the hearthguard are mounted with no special equipment options. The warriors are mounted and can only be equipped with composite bows. Levies are on foot and can either have bows or no special equipment options. You can also choose to buy a war drummer on camel for 1 point, and we'll get into this fun little guy in just a little bit. If you have the battle board in front of you right now, which I'm sure everyone does, you will notice that 9 out of the 10 advanced abilities will require you to use a specific unit or equipment type. This means that you'll have to take a varied warband to be able to take advantage of all of the advanced abilities. Starting off with the Hearthguard specific abilities, we have Armed Hordes. This is a melee ability which allows your Hearthguard or hero to reduce their armor by 1 to gain a +1 on their attack dice. You can also reroll your attack dice which have failed to hit using a rare. Using Human Shields, this is Orders or Orders Reaction ability which until the end of the turn your Hearthguard can use a bodyguard special rule. They can use either warriors or levies when using this special rule. Finally, the Predator's advanced ability allows your Hearthguards to count as being equipped with composite bows until the start of your next turn, which is both really useful because you get a lot of shooting attack dice, but also means your armor is reduced by 1 until that period. Although not specifically Hearthguard, Hell for Leather lets a mounted unit to make a withdrawal move of L after melee. If you use a rare, you also remove a fatigue after your withdrawal move, which is very useful for melee-oriented Hearthguard. The warriors also have a number of abilities. We won't go through all of them, but just to give you a flavor, you have something called Scorched Earth, so that reduces a terrain piece with light cover to nothing. You also have a few abilities which allow your warriors to move back from having shot without gaining any fatigue. However, you don't have any multiple activations on the advanced abilities. However, more about that when we talk about the Camel War Drummer. Moving on to the Levy. The only advanced ability which requires them is the Human Shields, and unfortunately for them, they are the Human Shields. So you can sacrifice levies to keep your Hearthguards alive, which is a pretty good trade. We've talked about him a few times, but let's get on to the Camel War Drummer. As the name suggests, it's a war drummer on a camel. What does this mean? This guy is a hero who generates 1 saga dice, has an armor of 4 and aggression of 1, and is riding a camel. He has bodyguards and the horde special rules. So what does this mean? Once a turn in your activation phase, you can trigger this special abilities and all friendly units mounted on horses within L of the war drummer are activated. This does not cover mercenaries. Now let's move on to warband composition. To start off with this warband, if you have no other models, I would probably start with 2 points of Hearthguard, possibly using a warbander. Next, I would take 3 points of warriors, since so many of the advanced abilities require to use them. However, you do require the Hearthguard for that melee punch. The last point really depends on what you want to do. If you take the war drummer, you'll be adding a lot of mobility. However, it is 1 point for a relatively easy to kill hero model. However, you'll be gaining significant numbers of dice that you can put on advanced ability instead of moving your units around. If you choose to take Levy instead of the war drummer, you'll be adding some extra bodies and some long range shooting, and the ability to capture objectives. However, I'm not sure this this is the most optimal build for the warband, since so few of the abilities require Levy, and although human shield seems very tempting, your hearthguard are highly mobile and you have to work very hard to get your foot slogging Levy and your hearthguard fighting in the same area to be able to use their bodyguard special rule. In terms of modeling options, Gripping Beast has the full metal range. Fireforge has a mix of plastic and resin models that also cover the entire range. If there are any other ranges, feel free to add them in the comments. That's it for this whirlwind tour of the Mongols. Many thanks to Aurelian and Stephen for letting me use their pictures. Make sure to check the comments for links to their social media profiles. If you would like similar content, make sure that you're subscribed. Talk to you next time and have a great day.